Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. If you've been following along with our pond build, you know that all of the dirt moving for the pond is done, but we have one final thing we need to do before winter, and that is get the back side of the dam seeded. So I've got a friend of a friend, it's actually a friend of Doug's, Dave Lepley, coming over here today. He owns a company called Dreamscapes. He does a lot of landscaping, and he actually even builds dirt bike tracks for people. And he's gonna be coming over here today with his skid steer, and he's gonna be Harley raking out the back side of the dam and then rock hounding it, collecting all the rocks for us, putting them in a pile. We'll be able to use those later to put a road in back here. But anyway, let me show you what we're gonna be doing today, and then we're gonna get it seeded. So yeah, here is the back side of the dam, and as you can see, when John Madison from Madison Heavy Equipment was here with the dozer, he was having to strip quite a bit of dirt down from this side to build up the back side of the dam and give us that slope that we want so we can mow it. And when he was doing that, he was probably digging down 3-4 foot with the bulldozer. He started to get into a little bit of shaly material, so the back side of the dam right now is pretty bony, or rocky as they call it. And I don't want to be hitting any of these with the mower when I go to mow it, so I figured it was best to go ahead and take care of it now. One of the things I was thinking about doing was just planting it with seed and getting a roller in here in the spring once the grass comes up and rolling it, pushing all those rocks down into the dirt. But I figured, you know what, it's probably better just to, like this big pile of rocks here, it's just better just to get them all out now, be done with it, and then get it planted with seed. And I'll be good to go for the springtime for mowing. Plus that Harley rake and rock hound is really gonna smooth this out. I've seen some of the pictures that Dave has sent me of the work he's done in preparing, lawns. And I mean, it just looks buttery smooth. So this will be really nice when it's all said and done. So another thing I haven't shared with you guys yet is we're going to be moving our firewood yard. So the Eastimate axis, the Yappa 315, the sawmill, all of our firewood baskets, all of our logs, all of this is going to be gone. And the reason is, when you pull in from the driveway down there and you pull up, as much as I love producing firewood and running the sawmill and all that stuff, it is kind of an eyesore. It just looks junky up here. So I kind of want to move it a little bit more out of sight so it's not the first thing you see when you pull into the driveway. And where we're going to be moving it is down on the back side of the dam down there. So if you look, we already had a road from when they were trucking all that topsoil out. Comes right through here, right down there, around the back side of the dam, and then we've got a nice little flat spot down there that we're going to be moving the firewood yard to. So that's what we're going to be using all of the rocks that we get from the rock hound, is we're going to be able to use that material to start our base for the road. Now we will still have to buy some, but there's going to be a lot of rock that's going to come out here. It should give us a good start for a road. All right, so this is Dave with Dreamscapes, and he got all the hard work done for me now. This looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, your job is done. Now it's my turn to come out here and start seeding it and strawing it. But yeah, I mean, what a difference this makes. Now, I was telling them before, you do landscaping and you do a little bit of dirt bike track building, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of dirt bike track building, a lot of digging.
Yeah.
A lot of Harley, Rake, and Rockhound, which is what we did today.
Yeah.
Bucket work, grading, driveways, whatever.
What's your equipment list like? You've got obviously the skid steer with some attachments.
Track drive skid steer. I have a E50 excavator to match it.
Okay.
Size-wise, they both go on the trailer together, which is kind of nice for the customer and me.
Right.
And I have a bulldozer, 650 John Deere.
Oh, same thing that Doug
had.
Yeah. So now, a job this big in terms of building the pond, would that be something you would do or no?
I probably wouldn't. I would probably not do the dig. It wouldn't be cost effective to the customer.
Yeah.
With a smaller, it's a big dozer, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
And you could do it.
Yeah. I think John from Madison Heavy Equipment said the difference between his D5 and his D6, it's 150% of the cost for the D6, but it does 700% of the work that the D5 does. So
incredible.
So even though you're paying more for the bigger dozer, yeah, you're getting 7 times more work out of it than 1.5 times the cost.
It's pretty amazing. And mine will do a lot of work. It would do that job, but it's not the right machine for the job.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're coming up on a backside of a dam like this, it's, you know, it's not super steep, but it's kind of steep. What's your plan of attack for smoothing it all out?
Well, the biggest thing is I start with a bucket and take the real heavies out. Start from the top because everything rolls downhill.
Right.
And then the Harley rake, which we'll see up top there, grinds and planes the surface, fills low spots, and it'll beat a lot of the rocks out too. As you can see earlier, it pushed most of the rocks out.
Yeah.
And then generally I would go both ways with that to smooth it out more, but on a hillside like this, this side I did work twice, perpendicular to each other just because of the rocks. And then chase it with a Rockhound. And generally same thing, start at the top. We were, on this side of the hill, we were filling that bucket one path.
Yeah.
So it's picking up a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, we got a really solid base. Let's walk over here and take a look at the road over here.
Yeah, we got a nice road out of everything.
Yeah, all this material was free. Now, granted, it's not going to be finished for a road, but it'll give us a nice solid base that we can add to. And all the material was free, just came off the backside of the dam. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we're trying to add a road to where our new firewood yard is going to be, and it's going to run all the way along the backside of the dam, and the firewood yard is going to be down here. And if you can kind of see, he built this up. I'll let you explain what you did.
I just put in basically the road base, and then this will be hidden by bank gravel, probably 2A.
Yep.
And topped with limestone or whatever the choice is at the time when you're done. But it'll make a perfect base. It'll never go anywhere.
Yep.
Logging trucks, whatever.
Yep, and you gave it a nice little crown to it. It's got a ditch on this side to keep the water that's going to come off the back side of the dam, run right down through here and out.
Yeah, and you got to, it's good to have this base crown because I was telling Doug earlier, if you don't start with the good, then the rest of it and the finish work becomes tougher because you have to work it out. It's just like building a house if it's not square.
Yep.
And it's not perfect. It's with the chunky rocks, it's roughed in, but
well, it's going to be a firewood road. It's not going to be a driveway or anything like that. It's basically, the goal for this is to keep me out of the mud when I'm coming to and from with the pickup truck and the dump trailer and the tractor. Yeah, this is awesome. This looks absolutely incredible. This is going to make mowing this so much easier compared to what it was. John did a pretty good job of rough grading it in with the dozer, but it still would have been rough even after getting it seeded and all that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop on the ATV and start getting this seeded. So for those of you who are curious, we're going to be using Kentucky 31 tall fescue. This stuff is pretty cheap. It's about $60 for a 50-pound bag. We've got 750 pounds here, and we're going to be using our ATV and our Titan Attachments 80-pound broadcast spreader. This is what we use in that section of woods up beside the house, and it worked pretty well. Actually, let's go show you that right now. And for those of you wondering how the grass was coming in that we planted about 2 weeks ago in the wood clearing beside the house, there's your answer. Looks like a nice green carpet already. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap up the back side of the dam. We got it Harley raked, rock hounded, seeded, and strawed. Now, we did come up a little bit short on straw. We had 45 bales left over from doing beside the woods, but we got most of the important parts, at least all the hills and slopes. There are a couple of spots that we weren't able to get straw on were flat areas, so we shouldn't have to worry about any water washing there. The only thing we're gonna have to worry about is evaporation and that seed drying out. Like I said at the beginning of this project, I could have seeded this with just the rough grade from the bulldozer, but there's been so many turns along this project where I could have taken the easy way out or done the right thing. And I would have gotten grass to grow here if I did that, but I would have been kicking myself, you know, next year and 3 years down the road for not taking the time to get this rock hounded and Harley raked and get it smoothed out, because I would be, you know, probably getting a concussion every time I went to go mow this. So I keep telling myself, I'm only gonna build this pond once, I wanna do it right. And that's where Dave from Dreamscapes came in. If any of you guys live in the Northwest PA area and you have a landscaping project that you only want to do once and you want to do it right, I highly recommend giving Dave a call at Dreamscapes. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.